Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're in our 76th stream today. Okay, that's where everyone else is. That's where the rest of you are. Sitting in the grass. I was wondering. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good day. And thank you for joining. I'm excited to continue Endwalker after we had a pretty damn interesting last stream, learning even more about what's going on underground here in these different facilities. We're going to check out even more with the Color of Joy next with Alphino. Some good touching grass taking place. I agree. Let's touch some grass. How's everyone going? I hope you're all doing well. Like his sister Tiamat, Vitra is possessed of a gentle soul. I'm glad they're on our side. Yeah, we're basically playing Heaven's Ward 2, but the good Heaven's Ward if there was no Dragon Song War. There's a friendly dragon hanging out here. Whenever the music plays, it's so good. Alphino has a mind to join the others at the High Crucible, and we're getting some Archon loaf for our trouble. Very nutritional, not very tasty. I'm ready to jump right in. I hope you're all good too. This is our first time, this is our first stream of Final Fantasy XIV since last week, because I did do the Apocalypse game day on Sunday and I was busy the day before, but we should be getting back to 2 Final Fantasy XIV streams a week again, so I'll schedule the next one for this weekend. So if that goes well, there will be 2 streams on the weekend. There'll be one for Final Fantasy XIV and then one for the Apocalypse game day. So it's going to be a fun, busy weekend, I think. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. Mulberry orchard. Cast has arrived. Yeah, I'd say it would be quite the satisfying VOD to watch, the full playthrough of Bastion. I've been listening to the soundtrack pretty regularly since we finished that game. Fantastic music that sticks with you. I understand the mulberries are for the silkworms, grew a stone's throw away from the Sartrop's residence. It gives the quintessential Thavnarian flair, don't you think? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. Hello, Stopbot. Welcome to the stream. As well as the others of you joining today: Buckshow, Mercury, Galleon, Catspore, Dawn, Castmage, Chrono, Cataviera, Raya, Raffi, Mobius, of course, Runaway Dog, Layriel, Lyra, and Philippe. You're all here. Welcome. The word Yuge apparently means bind in the local tongue, and this district is so named because it connects all others in the city. If you managed to come this far, we shouldn't have trouble finding the High Crucible, or so I was told. The street turns, enter the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Radz-at-Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. I was saying welcome to all the names that I could see in the chat, yourself included. Now we're doing parkour. I was like, we're here, so I'll quickly attune to this because we didn't do it last time because we didn't pop by. But no, it's been disabled. Seems we're on the right track. And here's the Aetheryte Plaza. So far so good, but there isn't much further to go. From here we just need to cross to the other side of the hole and pass through the larger of two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. I think the idea of disabling the Aetheryte when you're in a location that they don't want you to stray from is a pretty good idea, because you'll end up going, oh, I gotta go do this, I'll go off and do that. But like when you're in the story and you know that it'll take you a lot of effort to get back here, you can't just simply travel. You're less motivated to get distracted. Whoa, accidental first person with this camera angle. Though this land hath been afforded a respite, in turmoil to many others languish still, our work is far from finished. Accidental camera angle going behind my head. You took your time. Got turned around, I take it. Look at that. The High Crucible, the state-sponsored workshop for all matters alchemical. As I heard it, after you defeated Nidhogg, his scales found their way into the hands of the firmament's artisans. Steeped in power as they are, it's no surprise that they were coveted. Still, it is a strange legacy for the vengeful worm. I'm quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste and stranger the colour, the more effective the remedy. With my body trying to replenish the ether I spent, however, I'm feeling rather famished. I think a sampling of the local delicacies is in order. Hamza cuisine would be a good place to start, perhaps. Students have previously turned to Radz-at-Han's alchemists for help with the analysis of various artifacts. That is how I became acquainted with Nidhana. I'm glad we could rescue her. I pray she makes a full recovery. Excellent. You're in time to hear the latest good news. An immense laboratory. How many such places were enlisted to help forge the warding scales, I wonder? We're lost, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
Let me do something.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldesion Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
His little
Yet
smirk.
who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Ooh.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to akasa.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasa? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of akasa, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, akasa is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Charlian then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
As if there was a lot of sleep to begin with. So it was cool to get further, like, different culture insight into not just ether being the answer to everything, but akasa as well being this other element cannot be messed with. It's funny because the only, slept quite a bit in Shadowbringers because it was like part of the story to go and retire to the inn so he could have private time. So I still can't. Okay, awesome. So we're traveling. Should have accepted the teleport, but that's okay. We're teleporting to Radz-at-Han. To be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage, for now we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Omega. Kryl has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Hello Slade, welcome to the stream. This flower that I just keep crumpled up in my back pocket, managing to stay in bloom. How does it do it?
Take heart and protect them well.
I knock upon thy door. Ardbert, is that you? My nighttime companion?
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
We're having a meal together. Burgers and pizza and macarons. So fancy. Oh my god. Graha burger. Graha burger. Alice's not a pickle eater. Crazy.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Alphino doing the voice.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? 'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radz-at-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
Take the cookie. Everybody go back to eating. Your food's getting cold.
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
He's the short king.
Oh.
Pickle's still on the plate. I really liked the food graphics and the eating animations. That was really fun. Alphino with his pizza, and it's just funny to see the differences in food there. It's always nice when they take some cutscenes to flex certain things. Like, yeah, look at our good food. Ain't no pixelated grapes on this table. It is funny though, you can't even have like a slice of life moments rest at dinner where they all just talk about normal things. They immediately start going, yes. So the matter at hand, and then all their food gets cold. Rest is impossible for this lot. Gotta have your story-related exposition. They can't just talk some shit for a while. This is so funny when there's like 3 different ways of being like, I'm tired. Are we pushing on till dawn? Are we?
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
He's like, he's like, looked at Alice about the pickle. She's looking away. Green flower, okay. Green for the color of friendship. Okay. It's a fucking tonal shift, by the way. Just casually. Hello. Meanwhile, Reaper. While you're out there eating.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled. And I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is... equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Interesting scene there. My first thought, by the way, is Fandaniel sounds different. I don't know what the deal is there. He just doesn't sound like Fandaniel in the previous scenes for some reason. Sorry, excuse me. Zenos writes his own poetry, and he doesn't give it to the test audience before delivering it at all. Just obsessed with us. The fan fiction that he must write about Ocelot and himself must be crazy. He writes about how, and then they clashed swords and it was very hot, but it wasn't those type of swords, if you know what I mean. It was those swords that's very primal and, you know, yes. Yes. Speaking as himself now instead of Asahi's voice. That makes sense, because I was like, yeah, it does sound different. And now that we obviously do have the reveal, I think what's interesting about that, though, is, like, did he reveal himself as Amon in front of Zenos already? And if not, does Zenos go, hey man, you talking different? But he's too obsessed with the Warrior of Light to care about what Fandaniel sounds like, I think. It's funny because for us as the player, we get the reveal for Amon, and then he's got the personality change. And now the next time we see him, he's talking to someone else with that voice. Good old funny Daniel. You got that immaculate Reaper drip, though. Everything else is so tedious and dull. What a tonal shift from we're having burgers in our room to standing in the ruins of a dead city, thinking about me, the warrior of light. Hope you didn't mind us barging into your room for our late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment. Krile and Graha were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the Studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholarch Montichaigne and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Ishtola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? When it's settled, the twins will be coming too. Assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys, I'll let you rally the troops while I go ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the Studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. What I do appreciate, though, about Zenos still existing is I love it when a villain character is not killed, but beaten, and then we get to see what comes after that. I think the post-defeat villain development is always really fun to see which direction that goes in, especially if they avoid the trope of, you know, like, aha, it's me again, the exact same, I'm back for my revenge, only for you to beat me once more, you know. It's good where there's this actual change within the character. It makes it very exciting because I am also anticipating the next encounter, you know. I think that's going to be very fun. Alphino's new toys. If father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Heading out for a stroll. The Scholarch himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the Studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less, will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off you go. I'm disappointed in Alice for being a pickle hater. How very disappointing. Zenos just wants to hang out and get so very hot. Feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of Thaliak, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Sharlayan itself is one enormous shrine to him. That's especially noticeable here in the Studium. Here it is, Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. It's the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices, and so forth. As the center of what would later become the Studium, it was established to promote the study of aetheriological phenomena, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete, and Studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlayan's foremost educational institute. I always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track how many times he has recited the same foppish speech, such as his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest enter the Studium, graduated with highest honours in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the Studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honours. I am certainly not the Studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leveilleur began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino. With a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholarch Montichaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. The hunt for the Montichaigne begins. So this is the place where Alphino became a master debater. Interesting. Before we proceed into here and have a chat with anyone, I'll just take a quick little break here. I will be right back. Okay, let us see who we can talk to. There's an excitable student here. That was Alphino Leveilleur, wasn't it? The Alphino Leveilleur. And he's with his sister and Master Baldesion's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry. You said you're looking for the Scholarch, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Alapo should have a better idea. What's your name? Yeah, my name's Unskinwib. Bloody Unskinwib, get it right. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame, or should that be infamy? He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. The Alphino Fan Club. It's Alphino himself in the flesh. He spoke to me. He actually spoke to me. I assure you, I'll tell you about it after my business with the Scholarch has concluded. The Scholarch? Tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master Leveilleur's graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. Is it true that your experiences overseas are the reason you have incurred the ire of the Forum? Oh, what I wouldn't give to see you butt heads with those old codgers. It's cool to see that among, people that he is aware of, or people that have heard of him and his studious legacy, that he is quite loved and appreciated. I think it's nice as well because of the fact that, the Forum is so aggressively against us. So having people that are like, stick it to those old codgers sounds really fun. You thub tier. My friend doesn't turn up soon. We'll be late for the lecture. I'd been here 2 bells early if it were one of Professor Mikoto's classes. As you were, Len. Be good, class. Headmaster Omega Ocelot here. Crimson, I wouldn't live in either of those places. I would instead live in one place and one place only, and that would be in Ishtola's bedroom. Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the Studium? That's right, books. What's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here in the Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pacer this, tongue of Gigantoad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the Scholarch's whereabouts. I beg your pudding. You're not a gleaner. Then this was all an elaborate ruse. No, wait, come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to make his meat. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taken for me to tell you all this, the Scholarch has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. How do we pin this man down? A level-headed student. Yes, the Scholarch was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though he spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums. We continue our search. Everyone's here. Just watching him standing here. Did I end up standing, like, right where he was almost? What the fuck? That's so silly.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galef and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Write it down on a piece of paper, mate. I'm sure your hands aren't enchanted. You can just write it down. Can't speak it, can write it.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Guys, I always fall asleep in class.
The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Literally, for one particular lesson of mine in school, if I had it in the morning, I was just asleep. I was like, yeah, I'm asleep. Corporeal ether.
Yes, very good.
Wish I said to be honest.
This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Your handwriting is awful.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Yeah, welcome to the...
It would blot out everything that was written.
Is he explaining to us that he can't write it down?
We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
Hypocrisy!
Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Huh?
Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldesion, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Okay, check back in with Aliapo. You've been granted the run of Phenomenon. No. While Scholarch Montichaigne is best known for his role as head of the Studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Some of my earliest memories are of Scholarch Montichaigne, actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the Studium in the first place. Prial is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the Forum's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you should better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. to class. Late to class. Shh. The entire night in class. Calliope's quest seems to be locked. Oh no. We can't do it? Oh no! Don't make me go to school. Justinian returned not long after we'd departed for the Studium. Shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Scholarch, or perhaps not. Justinian, you missed out on lunch. Having spent most of the time in Thavnir, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Sharlayan. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. You better not let your guard down around Key. One small favor becomes another, and then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or such rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the Scholarch said, it could lead to interesting discoveries. Is that true, chat? Gathering bottles of wine? Seems to have done an adequate job of relaying Scholarch Montichaigne's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the Studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the Warding Scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? These crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the alchemists of the Great Work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. You're not coming with us. As much as I would like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it, to Limsa Lominsa. Alright, let's head out. So enter the command room in Limsa Lominsa. Look at this, guys. I'm using my keyboard. And by keyboard, I mean my controller. My shoulders really hurt. So having my arms on the desk hurts. My arms down and use a controller instead. Where's my quest at? There. Trying to remember my controls with the controller. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the elder Seedseer and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? It's so funny. He's like, by the way, 3 of the most powerful women in the world. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlene and the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of Kobold, Sahagin, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Radz-at-Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabad contingent. Ilsabad contingent. You think such progress has been made in so short a span? 2.5. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telophoroi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest. That we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's a reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ishtola's analysis of the lower influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth much more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. What would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabad contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Ooh. Goddamn. Interesting. We'll say for honor and glory. For honor and glory! Couldn't have put it better myself. Stola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet with the rest of the contingent. We were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Al Amigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabad. Ruban and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Piano keys on fire. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telefore so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. We're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it. Or better, upon your return. How's that for some honor and glory? Time to go to the Alamigan Quarter. For Alamigo! It's so much harder to travel on my controller. I'm trying to, like, it hurts to put my arm up on the desk. It is the Alamigan Quarter. Sloppy. This is why whenever people play an MMO with a controller, I'm like, what the hell? How are you doing that without it taking 7 years to do one thing? My gang. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration was never his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go like a gala cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. That is true, I'm not on the controller layout at all. How do you change to that? It's a whole other HUD to set up exactly. Yeah. I'll grin and bear it. My shoulder muscles are repairing themselves after the gym last night, so I'm just like... If I could put my mouse and keyboard at my lap, that would be perfect. Aymeric asks after me, say that I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the court. Lay back. I'll do the South Park, that World of Warcraft guy. I'll be all the way back here. Do this. I'll play like this. And This is how I'll play now. What do you reckon, chat? This is how I play Final Fantasy XIV. Proper degen. I must quiz Thancred and Urianger on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be a bit sensitive sometimes. Graha needs a little cat hood. I'll admit, this is all rather daunting. No, not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light, and, well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about, marching into Garlemald. I think when you ask the question, can't they just make him a mechanical arm, there's things you must consider. One of them being, does he even want one? I like to think here that Ruban probably goes without the arm as a very stark reminder about what he has lost and what he fights for. It's a character-driven choice. And also, I don't think we've seen a character in this game with a mechanical limb. I don't think that exists. I mean, it could be created. I mean, Sid would probably come up with something if you asked him, some sort of atheological connected thing. It attunes to the ether of your soul, and therefore you can control the arm or some such nonsense. But I would say it's definitely a intentional thing. I think when you ask the question sometimes of like, why don't we simply just do this? There's usually nuance, story, or character reasons why. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabad contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsabad, I and the other commanders will do just what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Yo! Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlet. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. Expedition, you say? What are we, some kind of Expedition 33? My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophoroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos, were I to travel with the Ilsabad contingent, who would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. For what it is worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead... Sorry, I tried to fight that one off. It did not work. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. If I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. A capital idea. Yeah, Slade, I think Ruban's getting along just fine with his giant iron pauldron with bull horns. He now has a ridiculously powerful shoulder charge in place of an arm. Maxima would have you meet your new traveling companions? ? Best of the best. The other members of the Ilsabad contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. I'm ready. The remaining members of the Scions, your friends, and most of the Ilsabad contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through?
By the 12.
Everyone is here.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabad contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, If there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
Ah!
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
I can only just see his eyes.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Ha!
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Character development.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front. It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield. From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilsabad contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature together with the smiths of Limsa Lominsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolaine!
Dude. Okay.
Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service.
Been a while.
Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honorat with my tales of daring do.
Honorat.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Oh my god. Let's go. Holy fuck. Almost everyone is here now.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy! Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities, which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again.
Every Eorzean here knows Sid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Balesar himself is working to help rebuild Whirlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabad, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlemald Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magnagias. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
What a gathering. Such a cool group to see all together. And obviously, a little bit of a shame because you've got characters that are not going to be out there on the field. They're more just, we're going to be doing delegates and stuff. But if we had like Ruban and Hien and Aymeric and all of them also here, it'd just be so cool. We've been part of joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers, but for some reason this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. I suppose he's had his share with unpleasant experiences with the Empire, and so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay's improved since we last met. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies over our journeys indeed. We are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades and mayhap friends. I have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups. They're an absolute joy to work with. Hermana Lane. Well, if I had known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sardu of the Steppe? Perhaps Perhaps I should introduce myself. Well, I don't much like the look of the fellow with the enormous axe. I think they both might rip you in half. I have cast my lot with the populares to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. We were disparaged as a radical element, dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all, as the world itself stands on the brink of collapse. I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azim Steppe with Serena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. Brings back memories to see so many familiar faces who've been through so much together. Good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will mostly be the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, eh? Often has Father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsabad contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon at sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned to the favour and gave a little something back. Greetings, Omega. It appears that both you and Thought are needed here, and who embodies both as well as I. So for the time being, my research into the ancient Nim must wait. The ancient Nim. So many people from so many places, I'm rather out of my element. Regardless, I am a seed seer, and I will endeavour to acquit myself accordingly. I did not expect to see the other former dragoon here of all places. As well as he knows, I'm not one for verbose greetings. We shall instead let our lancers do the talking once we're on the battlefield. Then we'll see if the other has been diligent in his training. That's true. He is my dragoon dad. We came far with this guy's help in the Dragoon questline. Albrick, let me have a look at you. Touch nervous to enter the battlefield, perhaps? Well, I shall be out there alongside you as a Temple Knight serving with your fine van. Though I may not look it. I was the Azure Dragoon once upon a time. So you can rest assured I will give all that I have in the coming fight. I certainly won't be shown up by you or Astinian. So if you're not a Dragoon and you haven't done that quest line, he's like, hey, by the way, Lord Drop, I was the Azure Dragoon once. So I assume that we have a similar thing with like this guy also being part of a different quest line. A lot of people don't have their names listed if you didn't do their side quests. So Zolka is from the Scholar quests, and I have picked up Scholar. I do have it. So that's probably why. I think I've like bumped into him a couple of times. So I assume like if there's characters that are hanging around that don't have a name above them, I haven't done their jobs, maybe. I'm very glad to see you well, Omega. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced, the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos she spied blackened silhouettes, and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could dream to be. With the Maul, champions of the Nadam, and the Dathal having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so were it not for my step-brothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver unto them victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this feral Dothali dog, as first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legend. This is extraordinary. To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer, with comrades such as these, we're bound to succeed. I was half expecting... Oh, yeah, you did the red magic. Hold on. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies. I ran over in a weird order, so I've, like, forgotten if I spoke to this lot. I forgot to speak with Lucia. Hold on. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabad. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telephoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defences in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honours? Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it. Warding scale. Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. That is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Aymeric. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. Led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight to their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you have. Warding scales. Doesn't look like how I had imagined. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, huh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Zenos back in the grave where he belongs. You got something for us? Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? They'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing, I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Einzar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfield told me was that they needed someone to safeguard the future. Here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humour. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Yes. Scale. And this time I'll press the right button. Scale. So these are the famed warding scales, for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside the 12's wood. The elder Seedseer, however, has granted me special permission. She has bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In so doing, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in the world, or so she says. I say it is past time our allies benefited from the power at a seed seer's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light under a bushel, and I intend to address that criticism. We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans! We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Ah, before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. Thank you for your poem, my darling. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yagiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid, will keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Do you have a warding scale for me, too? Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. We have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsabad, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist's Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamigan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. Yeah, I love and miss Yugiri and Gosetsu. It's something of a constant refrain that we require warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking, fur collar notwithstanding. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold are commonly sold in the Uldan markets, though they are of dubious provenance and efficacy. It is said, however, that in recent days the Alchemist's Guild hath produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievements of their Thavnarian counterparts did spur them to action. They may not be put to shame. This coat is quite warm, but I have something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open. And we can't go setting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. If you have anything you still need to take care of, you'd better see to it now. Since my revival, I've been lax in expanding my limited wardrobe. I think we have time for a quick trip back to Old Charlian. I recall a rather fetching coat. Preparations. I've got my armor and my lance. What more could I need? Yes, there you go. Before I speak with Alphino and complete this quest, just going to take a small break. I'll be right back. I come back from a break and I can hear, "What is love? Baby, don't hurt me." Oh my god. It's my favorite and the best bard in all of Eorzea, by the way. Liliana Nightingale. Just casually busting it down. Apologies for the wait. Just trying to wake myself up a little bit. And I do that by running out into the middle of traffic and getting at the adrenaline of avoiding getting run over by cars. Now I'm wide awake. I did also place an order for some lunch, yes. I got sushi being prepared to be delivered because sushi is such a good stream snack, I feel. It's very nice. And yes, Mercury has the right of it. Everyone. We've got 75 viewers at the moment. I lost like 10 viewers because they're like, fuck this guy, he's taking a break. And we only have 38 likes. And chat, let me tell you, the Apocalypse Game Day audience, they gave me so many likes. You wouldn't want the Apocalypse Game Day viewers to show you up, would you? I'm gonna need you to press that like button. Helps out the stream, helps me out. I appreciate it, please. Gotta bump up those numbers. They're rookie numbers. You know? Alright, let's talk to Alphino. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. And that is why I will be eating sushi. It's winter though, need something warm and spicy. I did have that last night. I had a really nice vegetable soup broth with some chorizo in there. And the spice of the sausage soaked the rest of the, got soaked up with the rest of the soup. It's very nice. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Justinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats, if only I had time to find something to my liking. I'm not going to be able to read or see the word hark without thinking of Willem Dafoe in the lighthouse. Hark! Is that the cry of scions in need of a tailor, I hear? Is this Tartaru putting on her best Willem Dafoe voice? If there's someone talking about tailoring, it's gotta be Tartaru. Hark! Someone need clothes! Okay, so I'm gonna need Tartaru's reaction to Alphino and Alice's fancy rich person outfit. But how? I have my ways, oh yes indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsabad without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. I love that it's this slow build-up to reveal Tartaru, which is so funny, because it's just like subtitles Tartaru, silhouette, Lalafell Tartaru, and there's this slow, detailed, ta-da! Now you will wear these garments I've made for you, whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather than the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? Alright, I need to see everybody in their winter coat drip. Ah, I did have one other thing to share. Ergmus and Bloomweeder. You want me to read those names? Ergmus and Bloomweeder have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. Who? They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlayan? Oh, why not? You can keep Cryo company in the Baldesion Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. I heard Ergmus and Bloomweeder did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. The B-Team Scions? I think you mean Hoary Boulder and nothing else. Hoary Boulder is the B-Team. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again because a certain someone who shall refrain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'd be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you other than pray for your safe return, which I will every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Oh my god, I get one too. Nice. I gotta work this into my transmog. I already do have a coat that I can wear. Alright, I'll have to work this into an outfit. So let me... Where's my closest inn that I could go to? I'm just gonna travel. I'm just gonna go back to my inn before we come back here. It's not nice. Yeah, it's definitely like, it's giving a Realm Reborn fashion. Here's the one that I already have. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. This one. This is my coat, which I think I got from Heavensward. My Alpine coat. And I've got the, I have some armor with it as well, so it's like I'm ready for battle in the cold. I already had, here's my outfit I prepared earlier. Complete with beret. Should we just stick with this? Instead of wearing the, we'll just pretend that Tartaru, made this one for us, and the beret keeps my ears warm. Okay, I've already got my coat. I travelled here for no reason then. I won't swap the other one because that is not the quest I'm doing. I won't swap it because this one I really like. So we'll just pretend that I put on Tartaru's coat. Yeah, no reaction with Tartaru. a reaction with Tartaru and the new clothes, sadly. I'm trying to dismount on here, but I don't think it's going to let me. I'm going to have to get there the old-fashioned way, aren't I? I can just do this and then drop down onto it, can't I? Bit too much of a jump there. Maybe I should just try and drop onto it. Yeah, the drop is the key. What do I have to do again? Do I have to like... Is it a command? I have to say look out, don't I? The Alamegan Quarter. Let me grab that. Let me grab that. Look, I can dismount. I think it just means you have to be on the very specific spot that it will let you. Tartaru is desperately trying to retain her composure as she prepares to see you off on another perilous journey, a frosty reception. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright. This is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? Alrighty. It's an honor to finally meet you. We of Garlemald Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. For many of us, will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable Imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal. If there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you're ready to depart, I will ready the engines. Upon boarding the airship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you'll be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event you are defeated, you'll be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out of the game, this progress will be lost. God damn. Cast, get out of my party, please. Please. Cast fell asleep at the wheel. Alright, let's go. Cast says, don't leave me. Alright, several cutscenes in sequence plus battles.
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
Finally going to this place on the map, hey? Hey? We've been seeing this spot on the map for so long.
On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magnagias, the winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
Some of their outfits do not look good. Graha got aura. They nerfed Ishtola. I'm so sad that it's not in black.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Virgilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number.
Yo!
However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald. The very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Meanwhile, at the Imperial Supply Depot, I want to get a better look at everyone's coats, and then we can do a proper coat review. We'll do a Eorzea fashion show in a sec. Oh, Thancred got that shit on! Yes, his is good. That's the best one.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Pistola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right, once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. A blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
This is why all the Final Fantasy women fall in love with him. God damn it. I want the Thancred fit. How do I get the Thancred fit in my game? On my character? Oh. I guess I kind of got my wish. A little bit. I am technically wearing it, by the way, by playing as Thancred. He got that shit on. Oh, it looks so good. Alright. Maxima the Neoteric. Assuming there's nothing else you wish to confer, we may commence the mission as soon as you are ready. Go over the finer details of the plan. Whoa. Oh my god. Dude. Shadow Moses. In the coming battle, you will fight as Thancred. You have two objectives. Place explosives on the Imperial Magitech. Deactivate the frontline Magitech units via the control terminal. If the guards detect and pursue you, enemy forces will become more aware of the threat you pose, as indicated by the threat awareness gauge. Ah, sepia. Sepia jump scare. The gauge will gradually fill until you defeat all alerted enemies. If the gauge is completely filled, the guards will call for reinforcements and the mission will end in failure. Use swift deception to avoid detection as you go about completing your objectives. I feel a sneeze coming on. Mission exclusive actions. Success in the mission hinges on the following points. Swift Deception renders Thancred invisible and increases his movement speed. While active, enemy soldiers and Magitech will be unable to perceive Thancred's presence even if they are within close proximity. However, it has no effect on the guard dog's acute sense of smell, and they'll be able to detect Thancred regardless. Moreover, this action can only be used outside of combat. It will also be unavailable when Thancred attempts to deactivate Magitech fields or execute certain other actions. He is killing this man. Thancred's silent takedown will instantly render a soldier unconscious. It can only be used while Swift Deception is in effect. Though it cannot be used on Magitech or guard dogs, utilizing silent takedown whenever possible is essential in clearing a path to your objectives. As guard dogs can detect even when Swift Deception is active, you can instead use a Bewilderment Bomb to distract them and sneak past unnoticed. Conversely, Bewilderment Bombs have no effect on Magitech or soldiers, so take care to choose the right tool for the situation. So sneaky, silent takedown on people, Bewilderment Bomb on dogs. So we have an hour for a frosty reception. Commence solo sneaking mission.
Keep your wits about you.
And by solo, I mean we're all...
We only have one shot at this,
we're all
so
gonna
let's
do
make
this
it count.
together, but with your moral support. They'll all go wait down there. Alright, solo sneaking mission. So, here we go. Where's my shit? Two in the gate. Could get messy if I'm not careful. One guarding the controls. He took a nap. Oh, never mind.
Seven hell.
Didn't he say he took a nap? Oh no, he said time he took a nap. I thought he said time he took a nap. For some reason I thought he said he's taken a nap. So I just walked right past him. I misread the quote. I've already been found. Solo sneaking mission. So they're just gonna walk in a straight line. when you interact with stuff, you are no longer... Oh my god. I don't know about those Magitech slashes, I'll tell you. It's a good thing this Magitech slasher can't see me tucked in the middle here. Good thing they've got no peripherals. Am I supposed to get silent takedown? Oh god, the thing saw me. Silent takedown. Whose footsteps are these? There's a dog over there, and then there's two people over there. I can't I don't know how this works. Oh, okay, I've got to throw it at the thing. For some reason, my brain was like, if I throw it away, maybe it goes to investigate. Alright, hold on. I'll just throw it on it. Bewildered. It took so long for him to turn around.
Seven hells.
I think the other Magitech slashers are simply unaware of what's taking place. That should do the trick, now to hide and send word.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Colonel, this is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Colonel, this is Thancred. So they're making a stealth mission so fun. It's so sick. And I love the abilities that we have too. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. My cooldowns. That tempered Imperial just being like, whoa, that person just fell to the ground and took a nap.
Seven hells.
Okay, that did activate you. I was hoping that the bewilderment bomb would also bewilder the Magitech slasher, but it did not. control terminal. I'm making a break for it right now. It's a good thing that these stupid little guys didn't see me withdraw from the supply depot. How's that? How's that for a solo sneaking mission?
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
Hell yeah. Don't you say that's pretty good? A few moments later, at the rear of the Ilsabad's contingent supply caravan,
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but...
Uh-oh.
Wait! Something's coming!
She got those sensors.
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
I was hoping that I could prevent the dialogue from auto-advancing, but we're in a set automatic advancement there, sadly. So, nothing I can do about it. Music's so good. It's the worst time for my sushi to arrive, chat, I tell ya. My food!
Brief respite.
It is a bit of a shame that the timer is this doesn't reset across
Keep the carriages safe.
quests. Because if we're not on a timer, I would take a bit more of a. I feel like we could take a bit more of a break, but we cannot.
What impeccable timing!
What impeccable timing, Amanda, the lofty.
The savior of Ishgard is here!
It's so funny that they decided to use him. It makes me just miss Horschfont, though.
display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We're the only ones still struggling. Time we put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good scrap.
Had my brain on autopilot. I haven't even touched the second part of my hotbar, and I don't know why. It's just like literally just sitting here, just mindlessly smacking the enemy. Oh, shit. Wait, I'm not done. Quick, broadside it. Fuck. I love that they're all holding it in place. That's fucking hardcore. This one is actually voice acted, which I really appreciate, by the way, because sometimes you don't get voice acting, sometimes you do.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Get to the front and turn the tide. Head north and join the Vanguard. Alright, before I join the Vanguard and head to the front line, just give me one moment, chat. Colonel, let's go and retrieve my rations. Alright. To the front line. It would help if I went north. You know, the correct direction, by the way. Me heading south. Hey guys, I was just checking on the other crew. See you later. Meanwhile, does have auto run, and it's a godsend for one-handed gaming. Sanjay having a whole ass hood just for his like thing on his back is so funny to me.
Was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
Why did they get rid of Ishtola's fur? She got nerfed. It should be black with fur.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
Getting scolded.
That I did.
Oh, nice jump move. Lisa's one is actually really good. I like this fit for her. Yeah, I know she had white before, but, you know, when you make an improvement, you shouldn't go back
That's
to...
for Gilead. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
They cooked way too hard with the Shadowbringer's fit that going back to white is a downgrade.
There's no end to them.
Never fear, I'm here.
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
Yeah, look at this group.
We have
Tempered
them now.
Imperials.
Forward.
Oh my god.
Let them have it!
Oh my god, Pippin. Pippin! Going hard. Oh shit! She literally just wiped out people outside of the zone. That's so cool to see, like, something taking place outside of my fight, and then Lise reviving them. Could you be my dude? His little dialogue about, like, his stupid search for love still. Anytime you saved my woman, could you be mine? I love that they included that. That is so dumb. It's such an interesting thing because it's like such a callback to Stormblood at this point. And then just fucking Regilia like slowly walking into the field of battle is crazy. I like that though, because I think doing that sound effect made me look in that direction, because I went, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be going somewhere? draws your attention to the situation.
Oh my god. Is everyone all right?
I just love the character writing that it includes stuff like that, you know? Like, having the dialogue be very consistent with characters. You know, they're like, we'll throw a little thing in there where he says something like that. I just think that's so fun. Salvo. Got these, dude. Nice. It's so cool to see the moves that were being used against me. Oh my god. These whelps rue the day they crossed my path. Oh, he's chained them.
Tremble before the sun!
Yo! Dude, adding voice acting to this is so good. Yo. That's awesome. Duty complete. Nice.
The worthy adversary!
Heaven's flame.
Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu-at-Han!
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
It looks very wholesome and welcoming.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. 800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated.
That aetheryte, though. Is that
The chosen,
aetheryte?
forsaken.
I hear Shadowbringer's music, but a sad piano rendition. Such a good choice to have
In the year 1513,
this narrator.
the 6th astral era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
God damn, Garlemald, baby, we here. Emmett's self narration is so good.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp.
Yeah, let's stop standing in the
If we
rain.
spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
What a cool location. And a very, very interesting looking aetheryte. Camp Broken Glass. Okay. Very rainy and somber. Sorry, I'm feeling rather unwell. No. It's because you're missing that fur coat. Hey! What the fuck? How could you? How could you? How could you? I was having a tender moment with my wife. Let me attune to the mechanical aetherite. Alpha Nose is fine. He's always got to be in blue, and he's got a cute little turtleneck. The matching turtlenecks is pretty nice. They choose their colors. Shouldn't be long before we have a half-decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working in conditions like these. I'm gonna... Bless me. Apologies. It finally came. I was waiting for that for so long. Rahatia has an interesting fit. He's like, hey, let me show off my collarbones. I'm not a fan of the leather undercoat, but he's got his furs. He got his furs on. Our comrades certainly haven't wasted any time establishing a base of operations. Is Urianger here somewhere? We gotta find the whole gang. Thancred I don't think has arrived yet, right? Hey Jadon, welcome to the stream. Glad you could catch it. Okay, the gang's in here. Chat, you gotta help me. Does Urianger exist right now? Or is he not here? Virgilia is in our care, along with the rest of the Tempered. Glory to Garlemald, glory to Garlemald. They still whisper in their sweet sleep, even as they writhe in pain. Ruban taught me a lot about military strategy during exercises in the Fringes, coordinating units with wildly different capabilities, surveying and securing hostile terrain, that sort of thing. Now I have the chance to put his teachings into practice. We've asked the Ironworks members and some of our other comrades to stay with the airships. In the event we are discovered, we must be ready to move them swiftly to a safer location. This is all that remains of Latarum. Homes become empty husks. This is the state of the outlying villages. I dread to think what has become of the capital. Once everything is in place, we will discuss our next move. The Tempered soldiers are sleeping soundly while they undergo treatment. There are too many to attend at once, but I and the other healers will see to all eventually. Hell's bells, this place is bloody freezing. I'd rather be tied to the topmast in a storm than suffer this cold any longer. Anyone what can spare a swig of rum, that'll sort me right out. Yeah, Urianger not here right now. Let us assemble the party once more. Maxman knew the name of this place. Why do we have to make up a new name? Because this place has been so ruined now. Look at this. It's a shell of what it once was. Got to make something new of it now. We're naming this camp Broken Glass. Give me one moment, chat. guys, guess what we have? It's that part of the stream where it becomes a Pokemon hole. It's that part of the stream where we say Pokemon cards. What am I looking at today? Let's have a look. Nice collection. Let's have a look. What are we dealing with? They're all... Hang on, they're all in top loaders with numbers on a particular side. So long as you're not being timed anymore. Yeah, see, we're not being timed anymore. We're not in a solo duty. There's some real nice ones for my binder in here. First, cheeky little base set Mewtwo Holo from the 1900s, chat. This card comes from an ancient, really super old artifact from the 1900s, the 20th century. Base set Mewtwo. I do really like those cards from the 1900s. To follow up, we have one of my favorite artworks of Gyarados ever. This is one of the coolest Gyarados artworks ever. It's like Gyarados coming up behind a fisherman. I'm gonna have to try and do this thing that we did last time. I forgot what we did. I might. Oh god. Yeah. Fuck it. This is fine. I'll say this is fine, chat. There we go. This is one of the coolest Gyarados artworks. It's like coming up behind the fisherman, like bam. I'm gonna get you. So cool looking. I've zoomed a bit. There you go. How's that? We gotta... I gotta turn this... I just gotta do this. I just gotta turn my blur off. We got the Venusaur from Crystal Guardians. Bit of that mid-era vintage. And then I'm going to follow that up with a Mega Venusaur. Because Megas are coming back in style. So everybody's trying to fight to obtain them now. Groudon, my boy. Groudon EX. These cards have such cool, texture on them as well. I'm trying to see if I can get the texture on camera, but it's a little hard to. They have a cool texture to them. Put the Groudon. And then, the double banger, we got the Tyranitar EX full art. But what do we follow that up with? With the Mega T-Tar as well. With the Mega Tyranitar. I love Tyranitar. Very cool. Small haul today. Just that little bundle. I'm happy with that. Oh, Larvitar is so cool. I love Larvitar as well. That whole line is just so fun. Alright, let's talk with Alphino. In spite of the obstacles we've faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alice and I will meet you there. Yeah, the Groudon is so pretty, and he's pairing with my Kyogre of the same era. So I've got the Kyogre full art already. I just needed to pair him with the boy. Yeah. Okay. Well, Gold Sheen. In terms of the gold, it's like his outlines. His. I don't know how to fucking describe it or show it properly, but yeah, he's got like gold line work on his. Oh my god. On his body. You gold boy. I do have a couple of the primal versions already. I've got primal Groudon and Kyogre in their gold cards as well as the normal ones. That's very gold. There is a Rayquaza equivalent. I do not possess them because they're stupid. And people are driving up the cost of them currently more than ever, and it is killing my soul because they're not worth that much. But the people are going, I'm gonna just spend a ridiculous amount of money to drive the cost up, so it's just ridiculous. I don't have any Mega Rayquazas or Rayquaza Full Arts from that era, and it's getting harder and harder to find them because most cards that you'll see are just in crunched condition. Like, people have been like eating them and then listing them for sale as like half chewed up for way too much money. So then to get like a minty copy of it, it's like so much. The Ghost Rare Yu-Gi-Oh art, yeah, that would be some cool potential. But yeah, I think that Pokemon do really nice rare stuff with the texture on the card and how they work the holo foil in with the artwork. It's just so nice. I think Yu-Gi-Oh are slowly catching up in that regard. They've done some better stuff recently, but Yu-Gi-Oh have been behind on the artwork game for sure. So it's a whole different type of ball game, or card game should I say, with Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon's been doing full arts and prettier stuff for like 14 years now. A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. I woke up on the morning of the convention and I said, it's cold. It's cold outside. It's early in the morning. I'll have to leave the house in 30 minutes to an hour. And then I went back to bed. Because leaving bed on a cold morning to go to a card convention being surrounded by hundreds of nerds in varying qualities of hygiene and smell is it was not pushed quite high up on my to-do list. So I did forego the card convention, sadly. I did hear about the smells though from people that did go. There was a variety of fragrances in a very tight space. And I say very tight space, it was a big space too, and still a very tight space. So I was like, I don't have the brain power for that. I'll pass. So I got some rest instead. You'll be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they've left far too many useful possessions behind. Aye, although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting? I'll make my way there. I think card vendors should have like a stall off to the side away from their cards where it's like free deodorant spray and be like, here, give yourself a little quick spray under the arms because you forgot to apply that as well as soap and showered this morning. So here's your deodorant to walk around crowds. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin. All right.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magnagias are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinists will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
Ice fields! I love ice fields! Oh wait, no I don't.
As ever, you do not want for enthusiasm. But given your experience traipsing about through Kurthus, I should be surprised if you let a little inclement weather dampen your redoubtable spirits. And even if that were the case, the promise of hot soup upon your return would surely spur you to action. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
Nice. Okay, a good meeting and a good hangout. I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. There's this odd perception that Ishgardians have lived their whole lives in the snow, but it really wasn't that bad before the calamity. And afterwards, well, I was rarely more than a few paces from a raging fire. This dreadful place, on the other hand, is nothing but cold, cold, cold. It's my understanding that Ilsabad has always been this way. Gods, can you imagine? Nice. Let me see what Albrecht has to say. He's used to hanging out in the snow. Several of the Temple Knights are off on reconnaissance at present. We Ishgardians have seen our fair share of frost in the past years, so we are more than ready for this icy bout. The Hrothgar from Bosnia, on the other hand, are having a devil of a time adjusting to these chilly climes. The warming stones we lent them seem to have helped, though. Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tartaru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize too that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. Oh yes, the ether currents, of which there is one a little ways off to the east. There you go. Amanalaine has our next quest. But with that one, chat, I am going to be bringing the stream to a close. I think we've made it to this camp in Garlemald, and that's a nice little stopping point for now, as we will pick this one back up on the weekend, and we'll do some Icefield exploration and continue to play more of this. But this was a really great sequence. I liked the solo sneaking mission with Thancred. What a little highlight in that duty. I really enjoyed it. So it was good to be back after a week off. I'll be excited to play more this weekend. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a longer stream, everything permitting, but we shall see how we go. I hope you enjoyed it today. Thank you so much for joining me for our arrival to Garlemald. I hope you guys had fun playing alongside and watching alongside me. And I will see you later in the week. Thanks for that, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your week as well. Take it easy. And look forward to a double stream this weekend. We have Final Fantasy XIV, and then we are playing Alien Trilogy on the PlayStation 1. That is the next Apocalypse Game Day stream. So a little bit of a different one from Bastion to Alien Trilogy, but the wheel has decided. And I'm looking forward to it because I really like Alien, and I think it'll be a chill time for the stream. It was really funny because in the Discord, MetaMage was like, "Oh, spin the wheel. Time to wait 109 weeks for Transistor, which is another Supergiant game, I believe, right? Transistor by Supergiant." And then I said, "I'm going to spin the wheel right now, and it's going to land on Transistor right now." And it fucking did. I showed him the screenshot, like, immediately after he said that. It landed on Transistor, and I said, "Well, you got what you asked for, but it was an unofficial spin of the wheel. So now it's really going to take 109 weeks. I just think that was so ridiculous. We manifested Transistor on the wheel spin, which is just so crazy. But we'll get to that eventually. I think the Supergiant arc on the channel may indeed come sooner rather than later, because I have been thinking about Bastion for like every day since I finished it. I've been thinking about it a lot. So good. So I'm excited to play more from Supergiant. But again, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I will see you later in the week.